Happy Thursday, Wilmington, Ohio, Clinton County 45177. So, as a part of transparency, I'm going to be posting all the communications between myself and Mr. Ron Fitton of the Wilmington City Administration Building concerning Mr. Ruddick's statement and my seeking the records of said statement that is a lie. So let me break this down for you. So when he stated in his complaint response or in the Wilmington News Journal's markup that I refused information to the Wilmington City Police Department, as I've explained to you, he's essentially accused me of a crime and one to which I was never charged, arrested, or jailed. Yet I go to a council meeting and read a public record, and I'm arrested and jailed. That's a minor misdemeanor. So, what essentially did this lie, Mr. Ruddick told? What is it? Uh, uh, quote unquote created. So when he said I refused information as reasons that the Wilmington Police Department decided not to investigate, well, that means um, or continue investigating. That means something had to be closed out. A record had to be started, and that would have either spawned from my first report. My second report couldn't have been my third because my third just happened last month. So, um, do I believe that one of these officers potentially told Mr. Ruddick that that was the reason? I sure hope not, because when we get our day at the court of claims, I'm going to lay out everything as I'm going to have the opportunity to do that I provided to the police department. That is, if it goes that far, which I really hope it doesn't, because if it does, well, they're going to have to, possibly one day. Wait a minute, this guy's going to be reciting. Mr. Hamilton didn't report when he heard that there was a child being thrown hammers at him, being having hammers thrown at them. He didn't report that. He didn't contact CPS, but but they stated that you said that you, the ordinary citizen, was going to call CPS. What in the actual hell is Wilmington, Ohio, even doing down there? Well, wait, we kind of got an idea because his judge is in the next hall over there in hearings for misconduct. So what else is going on here? Well, let's talk about that. Then I'm going to show the pictures to which I reported. Then I'm going to play the recording to which I also provided. So you have an incident, and then you have an admittal, which should have been a slam dunk that would then lead CPS to go over, take a trip, and say, hey, you know what? We think you might need to go see the wizard for a couple of weeks, or just for an evaluation. Just go to my make sure, because it's not every day that an educated or allegedly educated individual or logically thinking human being decides to pick up a hammer and throw at their children as a part of a brain lesson that it won't allow you to harm yourself. Well, sir, I mean, you are a prime example as that not being true, because your brain has harmed you a lot of your life, I would imagine, has allowed you to do that. So, um, anyway, so that's just the beginning. So, but what I'm also doing is when I throw it through on the lap on my records request to the Wilmington Police Department, is they're going to have to provide me with the record of where okay, you say, let's just say for the sake of smoking the pipe, that they did say that, and that's what they're going to stick to. Well, that means um, what information did I withhold that would prevent you from for that would prevent any police officer from investigating or pursuing a charge? What information could that possibly be? I have an idea what the judge is trying to do, but essentially what he's now doing is tied himself up in a knot and made himself look like an even bigger liar than what we all now know he is. Because what they're gunning for is the person who took the pictures. Well, I got news for you, dumbasses. I don't even know. That's a fact. I have no clue. So while I entertained your little shenanigan here, now I'm gonna sue your ass because I don't take too kindly to having my credibility and my character stomped on by a liar. That's you. And then have it confirmed by your agenda and narrative driven news journal, who, by the way, didn't ask me any questions, didn't ask Mr. Petrie any questions, didn't ask the mayor any questions. No, they just stuck by you. And well, they'll probably more than like well, yeah, they will be named defendants, I'm sure of it. So you've accused me in my adult life, being a parent, being a damn model citizen, essentially, as being a criminal. After I served my country, it was I a shitbag as a kid? Did I do lots of bad? Of course I did. But guess what? I did this thing called growing up and redeemed myself, and I did it good. I did it hard. And so when I fight and fought so hard to get to a level of acceptance with myself, where knowing I've turned into what I would consider the model citizen in my eyes, good father, producer, um, worked my ass off, provided, all of the things that some people need mommy and daddy for, not me. Never in my life, in fact. So yeah, I take it very seriously, especially when there's people in their 70s and 80s asking me in Walmart and Kroger's, "Tony, did you really not cooperate with the police?" Nah, man, that's not good. That's not good. I see, I have the utmost respect for a lot of these people, and they used to, and up until you freaks ruin that, well, there's a price to pay for that too. And and this is gonna be transparent, from day one. So essentially, I've sent transmissions, email transmissions, electronic mail to Mr. Fitton, the mayor, few choice Ohio Supreme Court individuals requesting, hey, if in fact one of two things I need as a public record, um, provide me with a letter stating that in fact he misspoke. That no, Tony, you did not refuse information. That's it. Doesn't cost a dime. It'll take someone 5 minutes, if that, or a all the work product that led up to the fact to the point where you decided to not pursue investigating any further, and that it was for the lack of me providing you information and what information you needed that would have um, had you carry on with the investigation. Because I'm going to tell you, as I've stated before, the affidavit that I'm giving filled out is it's going to make you look dumb. It's going to make you look incredibly dumb because these people that where I went, they're not too fond of dirty ass people like I'm dealing with now because there are some dirt bags that I'm dealing with, and it's sad. So those are the choices they have. That's what they're looking at. Provide this letter and pretty much say, hey, your former your your common police court judge has misspoke. He's lied again. Or you're gonna have to provide me with an entire investigation, reason for closing. I'm gonna be requesting, all the work product. The Hey, what day did you ask me these questions? Where did you ask me these questions at? I'm gonna need the body cam footage of that. I'm gonna need the audio footage of that, of any phone calls. I'm gonna need the recordings of when I walked into the building and where we sat down and we had this communication, because you better bet your ass, Mr. Fithen, I have what you told me was the reason you didn't continue investigating, and let me assure you, sir, it was not because I failed to provide you with any information. So this being said, uh, there's gonna be some choices that need to be made, and will these people will they continue on and cost taxpayers a shit ton of money for legal fees, or will they simply just say, "Hey, you know what? I've had enough of covering for these liars. We're gonna do the right thing here," because he didn't, um, not provide us with information. He provided us with everything we needed. and then I'm gonna go get the open and closure of CPS's, because that's public record. They can redact the names. That was a public official. I have the right to know at the time. But I bet you they're gonna push back. So I'll probably have to pay some money to get that, and that's okay because I'm coming. And you're gonna find out. You're gonna get out. You're gonna. I wish that, that these routes didn't have to be taken. I really do. But ladies and gentlemen, this it shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be hard. But when you have a group, a certain little group that insist on covering and lying for one another, but here you've got nowhere to go now except to court and to explain to a panel of judges as to why you lied, and that's okay with me because I'll use that recording when right after I file this my suit after November the 8th. And I'm pretty sure the chief counsel knows the guy's lying too. In fact, I'm damn sure he knows. So, there's that. Um, I will do the honors, and I will. This is. I'm going to be posting this as well. Sent. No, don't want that. So, nope. This is the email that I sent. Recipients being, and there's a reason for these: Ronald Fitton, Mike Cluxton, Patrick Haley, Mr. Wender of Channel Something News, and Cassandra Kilgore, who is the assistant to the chief counsel at the Ohio Supreme Court Disciplinary Council. Mr. Fitton, please see the attached from Judge Ruddock's response, quoted by the Wilmington News Journal to the Ohio Professional Board of Conduct. He states, sir, that I refused information to the police, you at the time, and stated that was the reason you, Wilmington PD, didn't investigate Brett Ruddock, former Wilmington City Law Director, throwing hammers at his son, at his children. Sir, he's accused me of a crime of obstruction to which you know is not true. This is the second attempt, sir, because I have asked for this information prior. I am requesting either one of two things: a letter from you, Wilmington PD, stating that Judge Ruddock has misspoke, that I never refused information to the Wilmington Police Department or any of its agents, any information that would did prevent any investigation into Brett Ruddock throwing hammers at his children, or I want all the work product into the investigation of Brett Ruddock throwing hammers at his children to include why the case was closed, why the investigation halted where it did, and exactly what information I denied you, Wilmington Police Department, that prevented any police work that could have led to a charge. As a reminder, I gave you an address, I gave you a time, I gave you a place, and I gave you the incident. I gave you photographs, and I gave you audio of the self-admittal to throwing deadly weapons at his children. As a part of transparency to the public, I will be publishing this and all communications about this request because this is where citizens need to see how tax dollars can be saved or wasted, which is up to you, sir. Should you provide me with the truth, the letter stating the judge essentially is lying. We'll use misspoke for a softer term. Nah. Uh, is lying. I will immediately withdraw the writ of mandamus that's been filed with the Ohio Court of Claims, saving lots of tax dollars and legal fees, or we go to court. Doesn't matter to me. I think a panel of judges, sir, will agree after seeing photographs and hearing the audio of that of that no other information would have been needed, and that making me go this far is, in fact, probably abuse of taxpayer money. A letter containing the truth costs nothing. The mayor did provide me with the current letter covering the News Journal story that nothing was given to them from the city at the time. Now we need to cover this. Please reply, "Oh, sir, as members of the Ohio Supreme Court are attached." Sir, this entire community knows I would never refuse information that would hinder any investigation. For those who are carbon copied and blind carbon copied, let it be known at no point did Wilmington Police Department ever request information after my initial reports. Many believe this freakish incident was never even investigated, me being one. So, that's okay. But um, I'll give you a little hint. I'll give you a little clue. I promise you, I wasn't the reason. That it wasn't. That's not what I was told. Wait till you hear that recording. So I'm not known. There's certain times that I will definitely record, and certain times that I just won't because out of the integrity of the conversation and the person requesting that I don't, and that's fine. Or someone that I trust that I'm having a conversation with, I don't need to. But somebody of the likes of the former and now disgraced Chief Ron Fitton, you bet your ass I'm recording everything. Period. Because there's never been a level of trust ever, and that was coming from your peers, buddy. That's sad. Semper Fi, God bless. By the way, had it been me elected, you, sir, would have been in the unemployment line for what you did, and you still very well may be, because I am pursuing 18 USC 421. Uh, that's what I'm doing. Semper Fi, God bless. It's officials like this, ladies and gentlemen, who poison the American way, who taint what our forefathers created for us to be able to survive as a civil as civil citizens and as a nation of people where we could coincide and um, not have to worry about corruption, I guess. But you know what? Unfortunately, that's not the case here. It's not the case at all. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is very sad. And so we'll see what happens. Um, but essentially, whomever's lying, it's going to be exposed. So, simplify and God bless. I hope you have an amazing Thursday and an upcoming weekend. Goodbye.